There's no short-term implication on the money side, and certainly I'm much more connected to the NBA and the NHL than I am the NFL. As you know, I did work for the Eagles, and I saw the picture of Jeffrey Lurie there, who's a good friend and a wonderful owner of the NFL.
Is it not happening in the NBA?
No, it's not. You know, the NBA has a rule that you have to stand for the anthem. I don't think other leagues have that rule. But I think the NBA players are those, you know, they're very socially active and socially minded. And I'm not sure we should make this about the flag as much as dialogue and social activism and the opportunity to drive change. I think that's something that athletes were criticized for 10 years ago and 20 years ago. And these players today are saying, hey, you know what? I have a platform. I have 5 million followers on Twitter. I can actually make this world a little bit better, and I'm going to go do it. And I respect the athletes for their platform and how they do it.
But that is the problem that certainly I have and a lot of fans have. They feel like players who sit or kneel during the anthem are disrespecting those who sacrificed their lives, and even the Gold Star families who have lost loved ones defending these freedoms. That's the issue, and it is, again, if it's up to the owners. If they don't want their players doing it, because the NFL doesn't have a rule, if they don't want their players doing it, they could tell them not to, and you're just not seeing that happening.
Well, I think what we saw this weekend was owners standing side by side with the players, and I think that it's very rare that you'll see the NFL owners, the NFL players, and the NFL commissioner all aligned, literally and figuratively, standing side by side for something. And at least the way I take it, and I guess everybody has their own take, my take is they're not disrespecting the servicemen. I have several servicemen in my family, in my history, and I don't see them as even disrespecting the flag, but making a statement that, you know, things have to change and get better.
Yeah, but they're kneeling. Yeah, they're kneeling during the national anthem. They're not kneeling during anything else but the national anthem. Do you really believe that the dialogue has to happen while they have the uniform on? Because you know what? I look to sports as an escape. I don't care where you are in the political spectrum. We're going to root and watch for a team and watch a game. Do you really want your players having that dialogue while they're dribbling a basketball?
You know, I would say, you know, from our perspective, again, different perspective in the NBA. I see our kid, you know, I see Justin Anderson out in Camden working with little kids who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to lift up, and he gives them a positive message. I see Robert Covington with kids in Philadelphia making a difference. So, I see our players out in the community making a difference. We're much more about action than talk, although the talk and the symbolism, I think,
but that's different than game time,
sure
right?
Is.
Yeah,
sure is.
Let me ask you, because you were booked on this program for a different reason, and we don't want to dominate this conversation with this debate that we're having.
I don't even feel like I'm under attack here.
Because it's important. It's important. We never stop. We appreciate you. We love you. But let me ask you, because you've got an exciting new announcement, the formation of Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment. Tell us about what you're trying to do here.
Sure. So I work for Josh Harris of Apollo, one of the founders of Apollo, and David Blitzer of Blackstone, and they're just wonderful guys who have taken new age ownership into sports. I started 4 years ago. We had the Philadelphia 76ers. We've added the Devils, the Prudential Center, which is a top 5 building in America. We've added Crystal Palace of the English Premier League, esports franchise. We have the East Coast home of the Graham Museum, a Sixers Innovation Lab. And so what this umbrella does is allows us a platform for further growth.
And technology, you can really use it and scale it throughout all of those businesses.
That's the idea. Yeah, the idea is to get real synergy and scale through these businesses, and technology certainly is a key piece.
All right, we will leave it there. Scott, it's great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for weighing in on this important topic of the day, which everybody's talking about.
He was talking about Philadelphia, the city that booed Santa Claus.
You know what? That's just a rumor. Yes.
Tough town.
No, you have to bring it every day in Philly, for sure.
Scott, great to see you.
Thank you, Maria.
Scott O'Neill there. President